we're about the same height, that's good. So I'm Kate. I am owned by Oatmeal. You might know her as Echo. In around November, a bunch of us got together on Facebook and decided we want to do something for John, to celebrate his 50th letter. I know for me personally, and pretty sure I can speak for everyone in that group, we're a pretty tight-knit group of people who all have been blessed to adopt these kittens that John has raised for us, and they've turned into some pretty amazing cats, and we wanted to give him something. So it took a lot of work and teamwork. We managed to get 635 photos and videos of 51 cats that he has fostered. And I captioned them all so he would see some "where are they now" photos of these 51 cats that he has fostered. Put it on a 64 gig SD drive for you so you can keep adding photos as they come in and put it on a digital frame so that you can just loop through and see this amazing difference that you've made in people's lives. And these cats in their forever homes with their siblings of cat and dog variety. There were some pretty amazing pictures. I definitely got the best job of the group. I got to go through hundreds and hundreds of cat pictures. And some of them were really adorable, and some of them were really hilarious. And so, why don't you come on up so I can give this to you? You've been a really good friend to me, and I'm really, really happy that we are friends. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
It's a trap.
I think it was a trap. I see a general theme tonight is of being thankful, and a lot of people have been telling me how much change that the camps have made for them. It's like, just tonight somebody told me that their life is completely 100% changed for the better because of the kid camp, and it blows me away every day just thinking about how much of an impact it's had on people's lives. But what I want to share is all of you have had an amazing impact on my life, and I can't thank you enough for that. That's all. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'm not sure. The butterfly effect is small actions having large impacts. The butterfly in the jar effect is a geek putting a webcam in the room with his foster kittens, resulting in people from all over the planet having dinner together in this room.
No.
And for instance, I believe B. Collins is here. We can't see her, but I'm sure she agrees with me. And I say, this is all John's fault. So B, this one is for you. Chicken fish. So, we have been celebrating foster dad John's birthday. We've been celebrating foster dad John's Golden Jubilee, the 50th fosters. So in recognition of the effect of the critter room in too many ways to mention, we have a small token of our esteem and affection we'd like to present. So, FDJ, front and center.
We gave one speech.
Well, that would work out. The critter room custom plants box.
You're gonna need it.
need it for the next act. The Right Honorable Sir James of the Knights of Ripley.
Okay, so now you don't need to know how tall or how short I am.
I'm 6'2".
I guess I'm shrinking by the day then. All right, so Tam gave me a name which I've never been called before, Sir James of Ripley, I think. When I was very young, my mum and dad called me Jim. As I got older, I had a variety of names. In my teens, I was known to the police as Stop Thief. Since then, things have changed a lot. That's about 40 years ago now. And in 2013, a friend of mine, professor at the University of Chicago, who's retired, sent me a link. He said, click on this, you'll like it. Well, I don't need to tell anybody here what that link was.
A Rickroll?
5th of January 2013, days burning my mind. And that's something that changed my life in so many ways. It's changed so many other people's lives as well. Since that time, I began to get more involved with Perfect Palace, first as a semi-official photographer at the adoption event in Everett. Lots of people were not able to get there, but I felt privileged to be able to share the photographs which I took of those. I used to get people nagging me even before I got home from the event, when are the pictures going up, when are the pictures going up. I haven't been able to do so much of that recently because my life has gotten quite a bit busier. But one of the things I do now is I'm the board vice president for Perfect Palace, and pretty much thank you. Pretty much everything I do outside work is related to Perfect Palace in one way or another, and we feel very, very privileged to have people like John who are fostering for us. Having done 50 odd litters, we have other people who've done similar numbers of litters. I believe Craig is on there as well. And in case you don't know, Craig now has a live cam in his adoption room, or sorry, his foster room. There are also live cams in the Lukey Land, Perfect Palace, and we'll be putting more in there as we expand the facility, which is something we're planning. So watch out, they will be actually advertised. Perfect Palace, as I said, recognizes that John is a great asset. You all are also assets as well. The support we get, seeing people coming from all over the world, it's been said before by many people tonight, it's just unbelievable that the act of putting a camera in a kitten room can bring people together from all around the world and create what is genuinely a community. There are people here who didn't know each other 2 or 3 years ago, people here for the first time this year, and there are hundreds and hundreds of other people, thousands of other people who have never met, but they're all part of the same community. It's a shame they can't be here, but we hope that one day or another they will be. And as I said, it's John that's brought this all together, and his amazing run of litters that he's fostered needs memorializing, and it has been done in a number of ways. But one of the things that people of my generation, and dare I say John's generation as well, will remember is something called a photo album or a scrapbook. It's not done so much now because the digital world is taking over. But Mark Penny Griswold, who's one of our stalwart kitten cam, what is his character? Kitten cam watcher? I don't know, but Mark Penny Griswold has done a fantastic job putting together a scrapbook in a bag which I just torn. Which I am presenting to John on behalf of the Kitten Cam community. I'm sure that John will be happy to show it to everybody. I haven't seen what's in it, but I have seen the design. Absolutely beautiful, and it's just a token of the appreciation, the support that you've given us, and how much you've done for us as an organisation of Perfect Palace. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Do you have to
He's a bit biased about the cover because it's rippers.
You have to look inside. It's not the standard.
It's not a bomb.
It's a glow stick.
This is very heavy duty. And there's ash in the inside cover. Dear John, I hate covers.
Okay.
The artist currently known as Mark. Dear John, a collection of letters from fans and friends of the Critter Room on the occasion of your Jubilee Litter 2015. Foster Dad and John, we thank you. This will take a while.
Someone got the crown?
I'll read. Let me see one that's a little bit short. Okay. Thank you, John, for helping the cats and the kittens in your care with so much love and dedication. Thank you for sharing it all with us viewers, the laughs and the fun, the challenges, and yes, even the poop reports. I still give those. And for sharing with such humility the times of sorrow and loss. Thank you for inspiring so many people to foster, to set up cams of their own, volunteer, and adopt. Thank you for being Foster Dad John. Love, Jules. Scientist Kitten Vet. There's some really long ones in here.
Yeah, there's a many things.
Okay, let me give you an idea here.
Have a slight impact.
Yeah.
There's a listed letter here. Who's on the back?
You tell me.
Don't tell me I can't. The buckles.
It's grand.
Look inside the back.
My little guide over there.
Yes, I am.
It's carrying the Mythbusters kittens. And there's actually wallpaper, I believe, that you can buy.
I have one more thing for John. This is created by Suzanne Hogue. This is on her behalf. She's not here today, but she made this for you. Yeah. Thank you, Suzanne. It's beautiful. That's the mama text. Yeah.
Thank you, Suzanne. It's beautiful. I'm gonna need help out to the cart. I need help to my. Okay, we'll sit over here. There's not a room in the chair. Thank you. Thank you. Not one.
And again, on behalf of Perfect Pals, I'd like to thank everybody that's been involved in organising this. We're really looking forward to seeing everybody at the show tomorrow. Looking forward to a great time. The weather's fantastic. We hope you've enjoyed the events that we've had this week. I know we went out to the shelter this week. Okay, did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you adopt any cats? Well, there'll be the opportunity tomorrow. Anyway, I'm kind of winging it here because Lynn is busy wrapping something up. One of the things that I'm involved in to a certain extent as well, once a year I go to the Jane Austen Society of North America, AGN, along with Mrs. Britton. And one of the things they do there is they have a preview of the next year's conference. They also announce who the organisers of the next year's conference is going to be. So I think people here ought to be thinking that may happen in the future. Not the conference, the fact that people might be nominated or called out for leading next year's conference. So if it's something you have thought you might like to do, step up. You've got a lot of help, you've got a lot of experience behind you. I think our traditions after 3 years are getting pretty well solidified. The annual traditions are turning into yearly customs, which is good. So please reach out if you think you can help the next Kitten Camp conference. I'm guessing Lynn would be the main contact for anybody that wants to help next year. So you've all got her contact details. Step up and do something. Thanks very much.
No, we just really want to say thank you so much, Mar. Mar spent, I know Mr. Ripley thanked Mar, but Mar did an amazing, John, I think you're going to really enjoy that scrapbook. Mar spent so much time collecting the letters and notes and putting everything together. So thank you so much, Mar. Now we have a little music to end our evening. Woo-hoo!
I have no idea how tall I am. Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You change your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. Face to face, out in the heat, hanging tough, staying hungry. They stack the odds, and we take to the street, where we kill with the skill to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rivals. And the last known survivor stalks its prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. Rising up straight to the top, had the guts, got the glory. Went the distance, now I'm not gonna stop. Just a man and his will to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. I am the tiger. That's not the song you actually came here to hear, I know.
What kitty song?
So all of you know this one. Please, please, please sing it with me. You gotta get out of the way. Kitties are so nice. Kitties are so nice. Get them down, spin them round, tickle their bellies twice. Kitties, kitties are so nice. I found Bitsy in a storm drain, covered in liquor and glue. I took him home and washed him off with kitty shampoo. Kitties like to sleep a lot, they don't do much of anything. But every kitty I ever knew likes to fuck with string. Come on guys, sing it. Kitties are so nice. Kitties are so nice. Get them down, spin them round, tickle their bellies twice. Kitties, kitties are so nice. Every day I thank the Lord, and baby Jesus as well, for helping me to turn my shed into a kitty cat hotel. Kitties are so nice. Kitties are so nice. Get them down, spin them round, tickle their bellies, not once but twice. Kitties, kitties are so nice, are so nice, are so nice.
Oh, we have someone coming up, don't worry.
Okay, I'll wear out.
She's taking a minute.
Thank you to our very own PJ Shapiro. who texts us every night. We have a CD on Amazon you can download, it's really good. At this time, I did mention earlier in the evening that some of you will be able to take home one of the cat face quilts. If you will want to check the back of your chair, you have a number on the back of your chair, and you are a lucky winner. A tape with a number on it. They're just on the very back. On the very back of your chair. And some are sold. Some are. You can pick the ones that don't say sold on it.
How's it work? Particular.
Nope, just take one that says sold on it. Those are taken home.
There are a couple that say they're sold. You can have any one of them.
Okay, what they're doing is they had a piece of tape with a number on it and all those little mini quilts. You get one. Let's see if I can picture it.
Only the ones that they sold are the ones you should pick.
Which one? The one in short red hair.
Oh, okay. I wanted to maybe say something I hadn't planned to be here, so I done it in advance. We were talking a lot about actors and stuff, but I'm not sure.
Oh,
Talk to her now.
yes. Talk to her right now because it might be.
One note of my own,
To her?
the entire video was not shown tonight. It will be uploaded to YouTube when I get back home on Sunday.
Oh, cool. That'll be excellent.
While folks are looking through the lovely quilted kitties and stuff, I'm Mr. Nala. And when we were talking earlier about things that we can do in sort of kind of kitty activism and things to help stuff, it kind of occurred to me that I should maybe share a little story with you guys. So we have 5 cats at home. And the reason we don't have more is because I said 5. I can't cope with more than that. And one day I shared a story with Mara about something I'd read about called suspended coffee, which was a thing that they were doing in some coffee shops where people could pay for a coffee for somebody else who couldn't afford it. And they could come in and say, hey, do you have any suspended coffees? And they go, yes, and they'd grab a ticket from somewhere or whatever that indicated, and that person could then have a coffee. So it was a great way for sort of street people and folks low on their income to be able to get something and other people to share with them. So one day, I'm at home and Mara comes home and goes, hey, I was over at Homeward Pet. Guess what? I paid an adoption for a kitty. And I'm like, you what? We have 5 cats. Are you kidding me? She goes, no, I didn't bring a cat home. I paid the adoption. And was like, oh, well, that's kind of cool. And then a little while later, we got a note from Homeward that someone had adopted that cat. But they had decided that they could afford it, and so they paid the adoption for a different cat. And this started to snowball. And people saw the little ticket on it that said adoption already paid for, and started asking, well, what's that about? And they started doing it. So now they had to actually come up with a name for this. They call it the Pay It Forward program. And it is something that you can probably start at your favorite local shelter. It's a way you can help cats that are kind of hard cases. Kitties, like John's kittens, have a very easy time getting adopted. Talk to anyone who works at a shelter, kittens are not a problem for them to get adopted out. But adult cats that are 5 or 6 years old or maybe older, cats with special needs, they have a hard time finding homes. And one of the ways that we can help them find homes is to make the cost of adopting them lower by paying their adoption fees. So, I'm sorry, I kind of get emotional about this, but every now and then we'll go, we go into Homeward and we'll look through the book, and it's getting harder and harder to find somebody to pick out and say, okay, this cat needs help finding a home. We'll help them by paying the fee. Because we keep seeing more and more that the fee is already adopted. And I'm sort of hoping maybe one of these days we go in and every single cat there has already had its adoption fees paid and is just waiting for someone to take it home. But it's something you can do. Your shelter probably won't know what to do at first, but just tell them, hey, you know, I see this cat here is, you know, this is an 8-year-old cat and it's probably going to have a hard time getting adopted. I'd like to help with that. And they'll figure out a way to work with it. You can even give them, that name is not taken or copyrighted or anything, as far as I know. You can call it, pay it forward. You can refer to it as that. But it's something that you can do at probably any shelter. And, you know, they might be a little flummoxed at first. You might have to work it up the food chain. But I'm sure you can get them to work with you because Homeward was glad to do it. They now have it just as an established thing at the shelter. And it's a way for people to help out and a way for those of us who are blessed with abundance to help these kitties find new homes. So anyway, something to think about, another way that we can help. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nala. We hope you've had an enjoyable evening, as I have been a part of this community for just a couple of years compared to some of you who've been around a long time, and it's really been a privilege to be asked to help with this event and to be a part of this community. Last year I was just here for my first time and didn't really know anyone, and now this year I feel like many of you are old friends, and I hope this community will continue to grow as Tracy has challenged us, and Mr. Nala and other people who are here to help kittens and cats, and not only develop a community that supports cats and cat rescue, but to support each other. So I will wrap it up this evening. I hope you all have had an enjoyable evening. I have, and great food, and thanks to our wait staff and all the folks here at IVARS who worked with us to make this event possible. Best clam chowder I've had in a long time. Oh my God.
There's the room, guys. All right, make noise. Jeez. There you go. Is that to take home? If anybody wants to take food home, there seems to be a little cartons over here.
There are to-go boxes.
To-go boxes.
Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lynn?
Thank you, John.
The house is big.
Yeah, if it was in that bucket.
Yeah, okay. Then that's great.
if you would like to take any of the flowers home with you, please feel free to take some.
Pretty cool calendar.
These are the flowers that Anne made one at a time, individually.
Let me see if they can get the color. Put them under the light. Sorry. Got it. All right, here's John to say goodnight.
Gonna say a few words.
Cam's crooked.
Make sure they can hear you.
Good night, guys. Thank you for.
Come say bye.
Say goodbye.
Bye.